Hey, in the previous video, I showed you how to create new monorepository by mrepo command line interface, and today we will look into the structure and how to create new content. As you can see, we are basically on the place where we are finished last time. Then it means I am in that repository, I am on the main branch, and only that pre-created structure is here. As you can see, there is a lot of handy configuration files like editor config, git attribute, git ignore, global JSON or NuGet configuration, and so on. Before I'm going to start talking about the structure and how to build new content, I want to show you how to use the mrepo tool to even learn new stuff. There is a really important command which is called explain, which you can call with any path to any file or folder which is inside the monorepository, and that command will try to give you a hint what we are talking about and where you can find more information. Like, for example, maybe you don't know what the global JSON is because you are not that familiar with the .NET platform. Then you can ask for that and it will just simply tell you it's a file where you can define which version of SDK will be by default used in that repository. And of course, there is a link into more documentation where you can learn even more. I think this is really cool. It can help for new people who don't know and they want to learn. Cool. I will finish with this. And before going to create any specific content, let's a little bit discuss how the structure is working in the monorepository. I'm using two main concepts. First concept is called workstat, and it's basically like a grouping concept where any workstat can contain more sub-workstats or projects. And the project itself basically represents like a project unit in your application. And the project unit probably will be source code plus unit test, maybe some integration test, maybe infrastructure and so on. But it basically represents like everything what you need around one specific project in your application, or microservices in your decentralized application, or some kind of satellite, or whatever how you want to call it. And yeah, that's basically it. You have workstats, and workstats contains projects or sub-workstats, nothing more. And how you can use and build and create new content in the monorepository by that mrepo tool. It's super simple. In mrepo there is a command which is called new. We used already this command for building totally new repository. And as I mentioned many times, mrepo interface is context aware. Then basically it depends where you call it. For example, if you call this command in the folder which is not Git repository and which doesn't contain mrepo configuration, then it will automatically think like you want to create new repo and initialize the repo creation. But if you call it with already existing repository, then it will try to understand what you want to do. And then, for example, if you are already in the context of specific workstat, then it will create a project. But if in this case, if we are in the root of the repository, then he understands you want to probably create new workstat. Then let's create new workstat which we will call Omega. When I wrote a name, of course, it gives me all the information, where it has been created, and so on. And now it's even asking me some, again, extra questions, like we using that centralized package management. Then it's asking me if this workstat will have a very big number of custom packages, like external dependencies, then it's asking me if I want to create like a new separated directory packages prop file just for this specific workstat. If I don't need it, of course I can use that global one which is in the root, and I can say no, and it's fine. And next question is about the versioning. Like, do I want to use again the centralized versioning, that one version which is in the root, or do I want to create like a specific one just for this workstat? Maybe I want to, then let's say yes. And now it's asking me what will be the initial version. Then I can say like initial version will be 0.8 dash beta. Now it's asking me if the version will be hierarchical, which basically means if I'm going to have multiple projects in that workstat, then if I do changes in one project, it will affect only the version for that specific project. That means hierarchical. Then maybe I want to, or maybe I want to simply synchronize all the versions in that workstat. All the projects will have one static version, and then if something is changed, all the version of all the projects will change. Then maybe I want that, then I will say no. Cool, then the process is done. I can look what happened here. Of course, in the root, nothing happened because everything needs to be in the source folder. And if I go to the source folder, there will be now new folder called Omega. If I go to the Omega, then here it's basically directory build pro file, which is used for that smart building system. And there is the new version JSON which I just created. If I want to look how it looks like, then I can call get content for that version file. And as you can see, it's a simple JSON which just define that version which I specified, and then it's inheriting from the parent version file, and path filter is just for this folder, which basically means only the commits which are going into this folder will affect the version. That's exactly what we want. Then perfect. mrepo has very cool command info, which always give you like info based on the context where you are. And now I am in that Omega folder. Then, as you can see, it's a really workstat. That's path. This is the version of that workstat. And here I see I have my custom version, and that version is inheriting from root version. And dependencies are coming just from the root package props file. Then it's perfect. And let's create in some concrete content, and let's call mrepo new again. But this time, as you can see, the system automatically detect we are in workstat and probably want to create project. Then let's create my console application. Cool, as you can see, it's created. Do I want custom version? No, I will use the same version from the workstat. And we are done. If we look what happened, yeah, there is a new subfolder. Let's navigate there. In that subfolder, we have one folder which is called source, where all that source has been created. And if we navigate even there, we have there a simple project file. And we can probably start working with this in the Visual Studio. Of course, we didn't create a solution or anything that needs to be done. Then I will go to the root of the repository and call here .NET new, and I will call new solution. I will call it awesome solution. Then let's create that. Solution is there. Now I can open Visual Studio. And in the Visual Studio, I will just simply select that solution. I'm in the solution. As you can see, solution is empty, and now it's up to me how I will structure it. For me, makes sense to create same structure like we have in the repo itself. Then I will do Omega here as a virtual directory, And in the directory, I will add existing project. And if I go there to that repo, source, make my console app this project, then I have my console application here. Okay. As you can see, it's using correct naming, correct root namespace, and the application is here. Probably it makes sense if it's a console application. I will add output type to exit to have a proper application. Now I can add new content here, probably class, and I will call it program as a main program, and then inside I will create private static void main and pass new arguments into it. Or let's leave it generate everything like this. Cool. That's exactly what I want. And let's say we just want hello world, nothing else. And of course we can build it now. And of course we can run the app. It will run, it will show hello world, and everything is working. Maybe one thing which I should mention, as you can see, there are even some packages, because again, the monorepo is pre-configured for you, then you already use that Git versioning, as we discussed in previous video. And there are some analyzers for code smells, and of course code styling. Everything is there exactly as we wanted, and everything is working from out of the box. Then super simple, if you want to create a new content, then again you just need to use mrepo new, and then based where you are, it will create that specific thing. Of course, you can control it more if you wish, then you can look into the help, and of course you can explicitly specify what you want to do, like if you want to do something very specific, like workstat, repository, or project. Cool, I think that's enough for today, then hopefully see you next time with another video. Bye bye.